Rahu back collective, welcome into another reading. We are gonna get started and just jump in. We're gonna see what advice we have for this rising and see what's going on in the energy. As well, if you're wanting a personal reading, feel free to email me, and as well as if you're wanting to donate for the fundraiser that we have for the tarot classes to get better equipment and stuff, feel free to donate to that as well. All the stuff you need for that will be in the description. But coming into this, there's nothing really on mind. We're just gonna see what's going on in the day, in the rising, what could be happening in throughout the day, and really just what a focus could be today as well. We had the magician reverse. There's something that you're not creating. There's something that when you're dragging it, it's this idea that you're getting from the divine. And when you're working on it or working with it or however, when it comes down to the physical reality, it's not how it should be, or it's not doing what you desire it to do. There's a miscommunication between what the divine is giving you and then what you're actually doing. So pay attention to that. Is there something that you need to be doing? Is there something that you should be doing? Is there some idea that you've had, randomly doing something? It popped up in your head. That sounds like a good idea, but you never fully did it. Paying attention to those things at this time will be very beneficial because it's like you have the door in front of you and you think you have a key, but there's not really, it's not even the right key. It's not even a key at all. It's something that you're trying to use as a key. It's like you're using a bobby pin, like you're trying to break in this door basically, because it's not, something's not working for you. And it's either, no, it's not even that. It's just you're not able to really drag it down. It's not that it's not ready. It's just whenever it comes down to the physical reality of things, you talk yourself out of it, or there's like a miscommunication between yourselves. Yet the high priest is coming out. There's a miscommunication between the one and the two, between the feminine and the masculine. There's a complete misinterpretation going on. You need to really make sure you're doing what you're wanting to do. There's a very big miscommunication. The divine is telling you one thing to give you what you desire, but this action on the outside isn't working as well. And that's so interesting how it goes one to two. You're trying to leave this, it's like you're trying to leave something prematurely almost, but at the same time you don't really know what you're leaving. You're just trying to leave. You're not wanting to mess with something anymore. You're not wanting to stay within a cycle anymore. You're not wanting to do something to alleviate some form of stress on you. It's like you need to go ahead and do something. Is how it's coming out. There's something that's not even hidden. Like it's not even a hidden thing anymore. Like you're very aware of it. But now this could be like a subconscious awareness or however, because again, there's just miscommunication where you're told to do one thing and you do it like halfway right, and then at the very end you throw on like your own pizzazz, and that's not what you're needing to do at this time. You're needing to follow some form of order directly. Yeah, and it comes from this not looking in with yourself. There needs to be a digging in. When a lot of people say I'm going hermit mode, a lot of people just end up going in isolation. Being in hermit mode, because the spiritual community really fucked up that term, has nothing to do with being in isolation. It's drawing information from within. It's silencing the mind, going within, and letting the information come to you. It's not sitting around and waiting. It's actively digging deep inside of you. Not in the turn, not to force it, not to create some sort of stagnation barrier inside of yourself, or to pressure yourself, but it's to go within and get in with the flow of yourself, to see the depths from a bird's eye view. That's what you're really needing to do. And a lot of y'all might be doing that, but some of you might just be um feeling like hermit mode is just being away and secluded from people. That's not hermit mode. That's isolation. Hermit is when you dig within. The hermit is a seeker, not a waiter, not someone that just sits around and waits. The hermit, it goes on the adventure, it goes within to find the answers. And that's what you're needing to do at this time. It's either through meditation or however you need to do this, but you need to figure out what's going on. You need to figure out why you're unable to get what you're desiring. And when you finally figure that out, everything's going to start clicking together. There is this really interesting thing going on, because it's all these major arcana. There's something that's really hidden from you. Like, you're trying to do something, but it's all not right. Like, there's something wrong about it. You're not going within as much. You're not going in at all. It's like you might be thinking that you're talking deeply inside of yourself, but you're not. Because here's the Queen of Wands. The divine is waiting for you to come to it. It's like you've done what you needed to do first. The divine's done what they need to do. Now it's back to you, and you're like, well, I don't know what to do. And the divine's like, well, listen to me, and I can show you what we can do. But you're not listening to it. Or there's this feeling of just, I don't wanna, or do I have to, or why do I have to do? It's like, I don't know. It's this ego that's getting in the way, and it's based off your surroundings. Like, you might even be comparing yourself to other people in your field or other people around you in a very weird way. Like, you might not be doing it on purpose, or you might not even be realizing it, but there's like a comparison that you might be making. So watch out for that. But the divine already has everything that you need. Like, all you need to do is really dig within and see the true meaning of what's going on, of the actuality of a situation. And you're needing to really focus on that, because it's like they have, it's like it's almost being withheld from you because you're not ready yet, because you haven't took the next step. You keep trying to do something over and over again, or you're not seeing a new way of doing something. Yeah, when it involves your work, there's a new worth ethic that needs to be done. There's some hard work that needs to be done. This is your test. And I feel like this is what the divine's hiding from you, is like, what you're wanting from the divine is through this test. And it's like, I almost want to say, I don't want to have to reprove myself. I don't want to have to show everyone I can do this again. Like, you've been wanting just to detach and move on from something, but the divine is trying to show you, like, hey, there's something that you haven't quite got yet within this field, and you need to keep working at it. There's something that you need to do. This is the test. And this is what the divine is trying to do, is to see if you actually are ready. Are you able to do this next thing? Are you able to move forward? You already have all these past things that you've made, but you're still working on a project right now. Look at all those other pinnacles that he's worked on and hung up and everything, right? You have one more thing to do. You have this final task, and it's like, not even that it's hard. You've almost finished it, and you're like, I don't want to. And you need to have this this mind over matter mentality when doing this, because it's like I don't know, it's like you feel like you have to work for money, and not just normal work, but like slave away for it. And that's not the case. You're able to get what you desire, but there's this whole new mindset that you're needing to have, where you're controlling the matter. And the matter in this form might be some sort of finance, it might be some sort of outcome that you're looking for. But it's like, when you're in hermit mode, it's like you're not continuing some form of work, when you're trying to recluse in, or maybe this is even you to need to recluse in as well to know what to work on next because you've worked on everything else. This is just you need to converse with the divine. There's something that you're not getting, there's some message that you're not receiving or hearing or getting, and it's because you've been really hard at work and you're trying to show off all these things like I've already done this, I've already done that, like what else do I need to do? And it's like, well, you need this one thing. Well, what is that one thing? And that's what the divines are trying to contact you with. But there's this distraction, there's this overstimulation, there's this refusal to cooperate. This might even have to be wake up early, like wake up earlier. You've been saying that you want to do X, Y, and Z, but you need to wake up earlier, right? And this is the divine trying to show you, like, if you just do these things, you'll start seeing a better improvement. And it's like this back and forth, like, I don't want to wake up earlier to do this. And the divine's like, well, if you don't, then we can't really give you what you want. Because in order for you to get what you want, you're needing to put in that sacrifice, do something more. With the Seven of Pentacles, they don't want you to overwork. They see all you've done. They see all the work that you've already done. They're not saying that you haven't done anything. No one's saying that, right? But with the Seven of Pentacles coming right after the Eight, there's a rest. You're like, don't overwork it. Don't put too much in. There's a time and place for everything, and right now, you're needing to withdraw and look at what you have. What do I have? What could I improve on? You're working on a lot of things. You have a lot of things that could bring you a lot of income, whether that income is energy, money, people, whatever this income is, right? You have the form. Now you're just needing to really study it. It's not time to overwork or to dig into something so heavily and to overwork it. That's going to make it blow out. That's going to make it overheat. The divine need to just take a step back, to look at what you've already done, to acknowledge your success, to acknowledge your failures, and to really push forward the new attitude. Now, that pushing forward doesn't mean to, again, over exuberate yourself. It's like you need to push forward with this new line of thinking, with this new line of being. Really allow yourself to sit back and look at your work and be like, okay, so I've done all these things. I have new things that are blossoming. I have things that are solidified. What do I need to do? What more could I do at this time? Into the Six of Pentacles, it's like you're trying, like, you need to rest in order to get what you want. I feel like that's the major test for a lot of people. It's this workaholic energy. Oh, I want to work on this. Oh, I want to work on that. Oh, well, this is fun. I used to do this thing where I would work so hard, and then I'd be like, okay, time to work on music, right? And it wouldn't be. I would be like, oh, well, working on music isn't like work because I like to do it, but I'm still using the word work. I'm not listening to just things that I have. I'm not reviewing things. I'm not just enjoying the art form that I've created. I'm still working on it. And that's what the divine is trying to show you, is to enjoy the fruits of your labor. There's something that you've already done. And it's so interesting because these are all the fixed signs. These are all pinnacles that are able to grow. They're not mutable, so they're not able to be exchanged, but they are profitable at this time. What are you looking at and what are you doing that's causing this sort of issue? Because from the 8 to 7 and to 6, the way it's coming out like that is super interesting. I love the way it's coming out because you've done all the work. You need to sit back and see everything. That's all you need to do. Like, you're waiting for something new to come. You're waiting almost for like your justice to come in from all the hard work that you've done. But how can you receive any justice if you're not 1000% aware of all the work that you've done? Because there's a lot that you have done that you need to sit back and notice and look at and really relish in and be like, you know what, I did do these things. And this is a big issue within the spiritual community because you're told subconsciously, not even to your face, but subconsciously, don't go around and say XYZ. Don't say that you don't deserve this. Why would you ever tell? Okay, let me tell you this right now, because a lot of people need to hear this. If anyone's telling you, oh, don't think that you deserve something, that's bullshit. You're here to be served, not by the divine, not solely by the divine, but you're here to be served by other people. You're here to be of service. You deserve all the things that you've been working at and working for. Because if you didn't deserve it, you wouldn't be a part of it in any way, shape, or form. People that tell you that you're not deserving of something are still playing on that weird role of, I don't deserve this, I don't deserve that, I don't know what I did to get this. They don't know because they're not consciously aware of what they're doing. They're stuck in la la land. Their heads stuck somewhere in a pipe, and they're not able to actually see what's going on in their life. They just think it's all not coincidental because they don't believe in coincidences because it has to coincide, which is two, right? But no, it's like everything's a miracle. No, everything you've put work into. The miracle is the spontaneity of it. If you've put in work, there's no spontaneous to it other than what you don't expect. And it's this balance that you're needing to have between knowing that you deserve something more, but as well as being open to surprises. There's this tight grip that you're needing to remove. And we have death, the rebirth. Death after the Six of Pentacles. There's something that needs to end. You need to give to yourself to allow the cycle to transpire. And then look, and in the background, there's like the rising is happening, right? Like you're able to see between the two temples, the sun is rising, the glorification's there, the awareness is there. This is what you need to do. What do you need to see in a different light? What do you need to stop doing? What old ego, the king dead underneath the horse, what new ego do you need to remove for you to accept this new adventure? What do you need to sacrifice? What are you doing that you're not seeing? What are you seeing that you're not doing as well? We have the Six of Cups. So come back to yourself. First and foremost, come back to yourself. Talk to the feminine inside of you. The feminine already has everything you need, but your man, your masculine, your mind needs to go to your feminine and be like, hey, look, I don't know what to do. I'm lost. Let me give you my apologies. Let me give you the offering, the white lily, the appreciation, the love, the acknowledgement, and be like, what do I need to do? I've done everything you said in the past, and it's very much helped. Now what do I need to do? Now what's the next step? And this is what you need to focus on. This is the next step. This rebirth is going to lead you to the next step. But right now you're struggling against the physical. Oh, maybe I should do this because this isn't working, or I'm not seeing an immediate result, so I have to go around and do this. You've succumbed to doing what everyone else is doing almost. Don't do what everyone else is doing. Do your own thing. Do what you need to do. Even if it's your own twist, do that. But don't follow the footsteps of another expecting a glorification that isn't yours to have in the first place. You know what I mean? Don't step on someone else's toes. The Four of Pentacles is out here. You may be holding on to what you have tightly. You may be afraid. And again, it's just fear of like, oh, what if I do this? I can't do this because XYZ. Well, that fear is what's keeping you stuck back. That fear is what's really showing you that you're only able to nurture yourself when you feel comfortable. And that's not what you need to do. There's a need to really know that there is stability, there is a balance, but you're holding on and you're trying to preserve more than you need at this time. There's a time to withdraw, like there's a time to oh my god, conceal and reveal, basically, right? And right now it's almost like you're concealing when you're needing to nurture yourself. But the only reason why you're concealing is because you're looking around and you're hearing, oh, I can't do this, oh, I'm having these issues, XYZ, money's tight, I don't know, time's tight, I don't know. It's all these things. And it's like you're following those footsteps of others. It's like, damn, I don't know, but this isn't like you. This isn't you naturally. This isn't something that you normally do. So you're needing to look at it like that and see what in you isn't cooperating with the whole grand scheme of things that's going on right now. Yeah, the Three of Swords reverse. Stop letting your thoughts destroy what your heart's trying to bring you. This is how you're going to really start healing. Not only because people always think that healing is only an internal thing. Yes, it's an internal thing, but if you're not taking the external action, nothing's changing. That being, if you're trying to heal from financial wounds and it's like you don't know how to conserve money, you don't know how to spend money, all those things, right? Until you start learning how to do that, new things are going to come in for you. And not only that, but you're also going to need to learn how to actually nurture yourself with finances and not just spend finances all willy-nilly on things that you don't necessarily need. This could even be relating to like food, like, oh, maybe you spend too much on food or whatever whenever you don't need to eat much, or you're like spending too much on luxury items whenever those luxury items aren't necessarily used, or when they are used, it's like a one and done thing and you never touch it again for the next few months, right? Pay attention to what you're doing, be more conscious of it, but don't let your consciousness beat up your heart, because that's like a big issue right now is what I'm seeing. Because again, with the Queen of Swords, there's a foggy, like you're clouding up what the divine's trying to have for you. The divine's trying to give you that love, that nourishment, that hey, you've been doing good, have this, have that, don't worry because we got you, right? And you're receiving the signs of it too, but it's this mistrust. It's like, I don't trust it, not to go through, I don't trust it to stay solid. You're afraid of something falling apart whenever you know that it's not going to fall apart. You already know what you're deserving of. You're psyching yourself out. So be aware of that. And this is that balance that you're trying to find. You're trying to juggle between two worlds, between two um, ways of being. And you're holding back these emotions that need to be expressed. You're not being honest with yourself. You're not telling yourself, hey, I do feel this way. Hey, this does suck. Hey, I want something new to happen. I want a change here. I want a change there. I want something new. Like all these things that you've been wanting, you're not letting yourself say, and it's because you're trying to balance your wishes for your surroundings. And that's not necessarily what you need to do. If you want something, just say, I want this to happen, and then allow the course of life to take its thing. But you're not seeing that. There's something about being blinded by the light, and the light is obviously what you see. You won't be able to see without the light. What are you looking at that's so in your face? What do you already know? Oh, I keep looking at my bank account and it's not showing me what I want. Oh, I already know I have to do this and that to get what I want, but it's not working that way either. What are you focusing on? What's your focus on? What are you staring too much into that's stopping you from doing what you desire to do? What are you caving into that isn't necessarily helping you or giving you any form of wish or like glory or abundance? All these things you're needing to pay attention to so that you can truly see how to move forward. And when you do, you'll be able to transmute the emotions. You'll be able to move on from these feelings and use these feelings to power you into the swords, into the thinking, so that your swords aren't just taking over your your feelings. So now your feelings can start taking over your thoughts, and not taking over as in like a domination thing, but taking over as in let me drive the car because you're about to drive us into a ditch and I don't want to go into a ditch. I'd rather just stay afloat, right? There's something that you need to do, and it's like you're asking for help from someone, like, hey, help me out of this hole. And it's like, I don't know how to help you out of this hole, or I can't. It's like you can do it yourself. There's an elevation that's happening for you. There is a brand new elevation that I'm feeling. Like I just seen an elevator in my mind's eye, so I'm just gonna say that. But there's an elevator. There's an elevation. There's a levitation, even if you want to say it that way instead of an elevation. There's a levitation that's happening, and you're needing to like get used to it. You need to really work with it because the celestial bridge is there waiting for you. The connection is there. Everything's going to be fine once you really work on that emotion. And it's not been shown to you recently. Like, why am I still upset about this? Why am I not working? All these past things are just now coming up randomly. Why are they coming up? Like, do I really like? Admit to yourself, were you in the wrong for something? Is the harsh blame that you had on someone keeping you held back from doing what you want to do, simply because what you're wanting to do resonates with something that they were doing along the lines, and because you've let this one person sour you, now you're unable to do those things that you wanted to do before that person came and did them either with you or did them without you, or however, now they're souring your experience and they're not even there anymore. It's like you really pay attention to this. What is the connection? What is keeping you from having that love, having that joy, having that abundance, having that exploration that you need, that you're wanting? Because it's this disconnect. It's, oh, I want to do this, but you're not seeing why you're unable to do it. You're not seeing the whole fact of, oh, I can't do this because XYZ. I can't do this because I decided to, not like someone else for doing it. Oh, I decided to not like people who have more money than me. So now I'm unable to break that barrier and receive more money. I'm upset at someone getting a stability, and now I want to get stability, but I can't because I don't want to seem like I'm getting their type of stability. All these weird, like, conundrums that you can get stuck into heavily, trust me. You're needing to see them as what they are, and instead of fighting them and being like, no, I'm different, heal from it. Be like, you know what, they can do what they can do, that means I can do what I can do. Just like not holding that grudge, because your inner child, your inner adolescent, whatever, whichever it is for you, will hold on to that. It will hold on to that grudge. It will keep a hold of that grudge, and it will not let you move past it because it's angsty. It's going to hold an anger. It's going to hold that resentment because it hasn't been healed by itself. It wasn't recognized as an issue when it was there on the physical. So now that it's within you on the spiritual, you're needing to go within and heal it and see what it's trying to tell you. It's a jealousy. It could be a jealousy for some. It could be a misunderstanding for others. However, this is for you. You're needing to reconnect into yourself to see why you're unable to receive what you're wanting, despite you really knowing that you want it, knowing that it is for you. You now have to figure out why you're unable to get what you're wanting. So pay attention to that heavily. We got the Nine of Swords. It could be a headache. This could be a really big headache for you. This could be something you've been trying to figure out for a while, and it's just like, I don't know what to do. Like, it's bothering me. This is a call for getting more rest. Again, this is a call to rest for a lot of you because you've been working on things. But there's a misunderstanding, there's a miscommunication that you need to do, not do, but you need to fix within yourself. There is a big miscommunication. And when you solve that miscommunication, everything else will start falling into place for you. But again, you have to go back into the past. You have to go see what stimulated you, what got you into the situation in the first place, what brought those thoughts to you in the first place, what told you that nothing in the past was going to work in the first place, what perturbed you from going down your path in the first place. When you start healing it on that level, then everything else will start to fall into place. But you need to think about it at the root, at the wand. What was the idea that you were faced with that then caused your emotions to be an upheaval, that then caused your thoughts to be malicious, and then caused your physical reality to be the exact opposite of what you've been wanting? Because there's this, again, it's a misunderstanding, it's an immature thought, it's an immature masculine side of you that's not allowing you to see some sort of greater picture due to you believing that you've done enough of one thing, when in actuality, what does enough mean? How do you know you've done enough? It could be your ego saying that you've done enough because you haven't received much glory or much recognition for what you've already done, which can be irritating. But you need to understand what's causing that. You need to understand what's truly going on and what's truly shifting and shaping your reality around you. Instead of being in this cocoon, instead of being in this immature energy where you're still thinking along one path and not thinking along a grander one. And this is again the idea that they're handing you. The divine is showing you, hey, you're in a cusp right now. You're not necessarily at a fire that's sustainable. You're not at a fire that has a spark anymore. You're in the mix phase. There's a lot of smoke, but that smoke has been clearing, and you just need to sit there and wait for that smoke to clear. There's a message when that smoke clears that they're trying to show you, but you're not able to recognize it as such because of certain blockages, because of past things, because of all these swords, which is causing you an injustice. You're not getting what you want because it's like the smoke appears and you're like, I got to put it out. Why do you have to put out the smoke? Who said the smoke is bad? Where smoke is, fire is. And what's fire? Fire is light. Fire comes from firewood. Fire is the pure energy. Fire is the life, the soul, the spirit, however you wish to identify it as. Truly and honestly, it is the spirit, right? And you're needing to see what is going on. What has been stirring up that flame inside of you? What's getting it all smoky? You need to rest. You need to start breathing, give it more oxygen, give it more room. And then when it's ready, it will finally embellish to what it needs to. But right now, it's not happening. And it's be seeming like everything's against you, and that's not the case at all. You're just stuck within the pathway. If you look on the Eight of Swords, you can see the swords are splitting, right? You can leave at any time. You're just bound still by your senses. You're blindfolded and you have your hands and you're wrapped up. But the swords are out of the way. You can still move. And there's water there, so you can follow the water to the next step, right? With the in reverse, you're not wanting to move towards anything. It's like you still feel stuck. There's an open path. There is an open path for you, but you're not seeing it. You're being consumed by the smoke. You're being consumed by the confusion, the illusion. So really take a step back and see what you can do to move forward, to free yourself from these types of cycles so you're no longer stuck. We're going to take two more cards and we're done. Because at the end of the day, with the Queen of Pentacles, you need to nurture what you already have. The divine has shown you that everything you have is beautiful, it's glorious. There's a little bit more nurturing that you need to do to it. And sometimes the best way to nurture something you're working on is to nurture on yourself. And when you start to focus on that nurturing, on that love, things will start to happen quicker for you. And that's what you're needing, because you're already at the end steps of whatever you're at. You're just needing to really focus on, how do I nurture it so that it can be transmutable, so it can be mutable, so I can go to the next idea. And that's the end goal. This whole thing is what you're trying to do, but it's rooting from this overthinking. It's rooting from feeling like you're unable to do something, this miscommunication from the divine. So take time to rest, take time to digest the information so that you can learn how to nurture yourself. Whether that nurturing is, however that is for you, you're needing to do that. You're needing to learn how to speak to yourself differently. It's a new version of you. You're entering a new era, right? Well, you can't talk to a new version of you the same way you talk to an old version of yourself. It won't work out that way. So take time to learn this new version of you. We're always changing, we're always evolving. So take time to really focus on that and nurture it. Regardless, though, this has been the reading. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for the likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, whether energetic or financial. If you're willing to help out with the fundraiser, you can share the post, you can donate directly. I'm appreciative of either one of them. If you're needing any sort of my services at all, you can use the order form in the description. You can use the email I have. It's all in the description. If you're needing Malachi's the books, they're there too. But regardless, thank you all so much for everything that you do. I love you all so much, and moving back tenfold and forever, and I will see you later.